I've been involved in a lot of different things. I was town select man for 24 years, town moderator for many years. This was solid ledge across here. I blasted this all out and where the building is so that I could build it in here, and when the water is turbo high, you see, it can go down by. If they were going to build a new plant down there, if they've got a 150-foot drop, they wouldn't want to build it at all like this one.
How'd you engineer your project?
I laid awake many nights before I tackled it.
Why'd you decide to do it?
Well, I can tell you. Just because I'm quick-tempered, I guess. I'm on the board of directors for Vermont Electric Co-op. I have been for 30-odd years. And they were putting millions of dollars into these nuclear plants. And the waste from them, they say in 100 years, if you dig it up, it's still just as dangerous, as poison as it would be when they buried it. And I was pushing for them to build small hydros instead of putting money into those nuclear plants. So I built this one. I built one up to Ireland too. If you're going to build one for the school, as you mentioned, the difference there is with a 150-foot drop, where I have only 20 feet here, 100, you don't have to have but a small. Ireland's got only a 3-inch nozzle, and he generates twice as much as what I can here.
So how much did this project cost you to make?
Well, I think for what I hired done, probably $20,000.
And did it turn out to be worth it?
Oh yes, yes. I got a lot of months. I got $6,000–7,000.
When did you build it?
33 years ago.
So it's been running a long time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Did you have any problems with permitting when you first did it?
Oh no. I would imagine there'd be more problems now than there would what we had back then. I don't know.
Yeah, our project's been having some problems with permitting.
Yeah, they'd be more strict, I'm sure.
Yeah. What would you recommend to someone if they were going to build another hydro?
Well, it all depends on the situation. I mean, I would like to see it, how you're going to build. But if you've got a 150-foot drop, you can be sure you don't have to have much water to generate a lot more than what the school would ever use.
Yeah, that's what we were thinking.
Oh, I think that's a wise idea. And there's so many small streams around where they could have more drop than what I've got, where they could generate a lot to go into the power line instead of those nuclear plants.
Basically, I catch about half the water flow that comes down, and no procedure, half it would go in there and half it would go bypass. Springtime, it could be even a half a foot of water going over this.
Besides your water tower, I can see you're going to have some blackberries.
Well, okay.
How much did this whole thing cost you to build?
I probably got, because I did some experimentation, but I probably got about $70,000 or $80,000 to begin with back in '83 time frame.
Yeah, and did it turn out to be worth it?
Well, after the years, whatever, it took probably 15 years to start getting my money back out of it.
Yeah, how'd you engineer it?
Well, basically my two brothers, my father and one of my other brothers, he went to, he's got an electrical engineer down to Randolph Technical College. So all of us together, we put it together.
Are you able to keep it running all year round?
Except for a couple of weeks in August, for example, when the water's low and
when it's dry?
And when it's dry, basically.
Did you have any problems with permitting when you first started?
It was a fair amount of red tape. It took me a while to do that. Go through different agencies, the state of Vermont. I had to go to the Public Service Board or whatever I believe it was to get what they call a certificate of public good. That time there was kind of short power, so they encouraged alternate renewable energy resources more than what they do today. Even though they should do it today too, because of the, oil and so forth. But to me, they don't encourage it enough. Back then, they had tax credits and from the federal government to encourage renewable energy resources, but now they don't seem to do that as much. I have about 160 feet ahead, which is about the same. You have how much volume of water do you have?
We have a 13 square mile watershed.
Okay.
So we'd like to do about 9 CFS.
Okay.
And what do you have?
Well, I'd say it's about, normally when I have enough water, that would probably be about the same.
Yeah.
But there wouldn't begin to be the maintenance on this type like there is on mine. You had it going, must be for about 25 years?
Yes. Yeah. What's the power output? The power output when I'm going full tilt, it's about 30 kilowatts an hour. So that'll provide power for about 40 average houses without electric heat.
Don't sound quite like the new ones do. We've got over 100 of them records. 5 boys and 1 girl. And I tell her often that she's my favorite daughter.
Since you were a legislator, do you know if there's any policies on hydro that could be changed?
They didn't have anything about it at the time I was in the legislature. It was quite a while before I even thought of building one. Of all the years it's been running down here, I found 1 dead fish down below the plant. And I know it had to have gone down through. And you take that kind of a water wheel like what you'd have to have, a fish would go through there and it wouldn't hurt them anyway. To me, water power is the best type of electricity because, I mean, there's no pollution from it.